Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master. Today, we're diving into the chilling and mind-bending ending of the horror film Bodycam. If you love found footage horror that slowly drags you into something much bigger and darker than it first appears, this movie definitely leaves you with a lot to unpack. On the surface, it looks like a supernatural story about two cops caught in a nightmare, but by the end, it becomes something far more disturbing, something that hints at an entity quietly spreading through humanity itself. So let's break down exactly what happened to Bryce, what happened to Jackson, what that strange symbol means, and what the movie's terrifying final moments are really telling us.
She drew that same shit at the house. What is happening here?
A routine call that turns into a nightmare. The story begins when officers Jackson and Bryce respond to what seems like a standard domestic violence call in a rough neighborhood. Right away, the atmosphere feels wrong. The house is in complete chaos, furniture overturned, strange markings everywhere, and a woman screaming somewhere inside. Jackson grew up in this area, so he's already uneasy. But Bryce approaches everything with the aggressive confidence of someone who thinks he understands exactly what kind of place this is. There's a clear tension between them. Jackson feels pressure to constantly prove himself as a black officer, working beside a white partner who clearly holds the dominant position. Inside the house, things get stranger. Jackson finds a room with a hole dug deep into the floor, and every wall is covered with a mysterious symbol. Standing inside the room is a woman who looks completely out of it, almost drugged or possessed. At the same time, Bryce runs into a man holding something wrapped in cloth. Bryce repeatedly orders him to show his hands, but the man doesn't respond. When the man suddenly approaches him, Bryce panics and shoots. Only after the shot does the horrifying truth appear. The man wasn't holding a weapon, he was holding a baby.
We had a deal. I own you, Espo.
No, man. He owns you now.
Bryce's fatal decision. Jackson rushes into the room after hearing the shot and finds the man dead on the floor. Bryce immediately begins to panic. He insists it was an accident, that everything happened too fast. Jackson wants to report the shooting right away, especially after realizing a child was involved. But Bryce begs him not to. Bryce knows what this means for his career. A wrongful shooting like this could destroy his life, and he convinces Jackson to help cover it up. That moment becomes the real turning point of the film, because from that moment on, it feels like something else starts paying attention to them. The woman Jackson saw earlier suddenly appears and witnesses the scene. She's horrified and runs outside. When the officers chase her, she threatens them with a broken bottle. Jackson tries to calm her down, but instead she does something shocking. She slashes her own throat, but even while bleeding out, she attacks Bryce and grabs him. For a moment, it almost looks like she's marking him, passing something on to him. After that moment, Bryce begins seeing strange things. His vision distorts. He becomes hypnotized whenever he looks at the strange symbol inside the house. And that's when it becomes clear that whatever happened in that house didn't end with the shooting. It was only the beginning. The secret of the symbol. Bryce decides the only way to protect himself is to erase the body cam footage. The entire event has been recorded, and if anyone sees it, the truth will come out. He contacts someone who might be able to wipe the footage, but when they watch the video, the woman refuses to help. She tells Bryce something terrifying. He owns you. That one sentence suggests something much bigger is happening in that neighborhood. The symbol they saw in the house isn't random. It represents something or someone that people in that area already fear. Soon after, Bryce and Jackson are sent back to the same house to follow up on the original domestic violence call. But when they arrive, the bodies are gone. There's blood everywhere, proving the events were real, but the man and woman have completely vanished. Even stranger, the symbol has been drawn on the wall again using blood. Their radios stop working whenever they enter the house, as if something is deliberately isolating them. And Bryce's condition keeps getting worse. His nose starts bleeding, and he keeps falling into trances whenever he sees the symbol. It becomes clear that whatever he is, Bryce has been marked.
You take something from him, he takes something from you.
he will take something from you. When Bryce and Jackson try to leave the neighborhood, a group of strange followers blocks their path. These people seem completely calm, almost devoted to whatever force controls the area. They deliver a chilling message. Bryce took something from him, so now he will take something from Bryce. At first, this sounds symbolic, but very quickly it becomes literal. Jackson takes Bryce to his mother's house, hoping she might know something about what's happening. When she hears what they've done, her reaction is immediate fear. She tells them they've made a terrible mistake. They interfered with something they never should have touched, and she tells Bryce to go home and protect his family, because whatever this entity is, it's coming for them.
All this power you couldn't protect your wife. Where is she?
The horrifying truth about Bryce's wife. Bryce rushes home, desperate to check on his wife Michelle, who is pregnant. But when he enters the house, something is wrong. The lights are off, which Michelle never does when he's coming home late. And inside, he finds the woman who earlier refused to erase the Bodycam footage tied to a chair. When he unties her, she suddenly begins bleeding from her mouth. Her body twists and contorts, and an evil voice speaks through her. The entity tells Bryce something disturbing. Michelle was calling for him when he found her, and she will rise when she descends. Bryce realizes his wife is gone. Whatever this entity is, it has already taken her. Desperate and spiraling into madness, Bryce begins trying anything to get answers. Eventually, he reaches a breaking point when he begins hallucinating the woman from earlier holding her baby. She reminds him of the deal. Bryce took something. Now, Bryce
I'm not going down with some fucking tweaker.
Must pay the price. Bryce's final moments. Bryce's mental state completely collapses. He becomes convinced that Michelle is nearby, and he runs to the roof of his house. When Jackson finally catches up to him, Bryce is kneeling there, gently touching someone who isn't actually there. In Bryce's mind, Michelle is right in front of him, but in reality, there's nothing. Jackson desperately tries to talk him down, explaining that Michelle isn't there, and they can still find her if they keep searching. But Bryce no longer believes this any hope. He believes Michelle and their unborn child are already gone. And in one tragic moment, Bryce pulls the trigger on himself. He falls off the roof and lands on the car below. But when Jackson reaches the car seconds later, Bryce's body is gone.
It's a girl.
Jackson's endless loop. Now, completely alone, Jackson tries to escape the neighborhood. His car finally starts, and for a moment, it seems like he might actually get away. But something terrifying happens. Every road he drives down leads him back to the same house, over and over again. It doesn't matter which direction he goes. Somehow, the road always ends at the place where Bryce shot the man. It's like the entire neighborhood has become a trap. Jackson calls his mother for help, and she gives him one crucial piece of advice. Do not go back into the house. As long as he stays away from it, he might survive. But after hours of being trapped in the same loop, Jackson begins to lose hope. Eventually, he does the one thing he was told not to do. He walks back into the house. The descent. Inside the house, Jackson hears a scream coming from the hole in the floor, the same one he discovered earlier, and instead of running away, he climbs down into it. He descends. Deep underground, Jackson finds something impossible. Bryce is there, Michelle is there, and Michelle is giving birth. Surrounding them are the strange followers who have been watching everything unfold. They all stare upward as if waiting for something to arrive. Bryce calmly holds the newborn child and tells Jackson something chilling. It's a girl. But Jackson quickly realizes something is terribly wrong. A monstrous creature with tentacles emerges from the darkness above them. This is him. Jackson's fate. Jackson tries to escape, but there is no way out. Suddenly, Bryce steps forward again, but this time he isn't the same person. His mind now belongs to the entity. Then someone else appears, Jackson's sister. She had died earlier in life from a drug overdose, which is why Jackson's mother had devoted herself to helping addicts recover. Seeing her completely breaks Jackson's will. He lowers his weapon. He submits. By the time Jackson's mother arrives at the house with other officers, hoping to rescue him. It's already too late. Jackson stands near the hole with glowing eyes and an altered voice. He calmly tells his mother that she is rising. Moments later, Jackson's sister climbs out of the hole and tells their mother that they've been waiting for her. Then, something massive rises from below. The camera shakes violently, and suddenly, the screen cuts out.
Stand back! Fuck! What the fuck? Take control! Control, come here!
The true meaning of the ending. The ending of Bodycam suggests that the entity known only as him isn't just a demon or ghost. It might actually be an alien force slowly infiltrating humanity. The symbol seen throughout the neighborhood acts like a mark of ownership. Once someone is marked, they begin losing control of themselves and eventually become part of the entity's growing army. But the film also carries a deeper message. The neighborhood where everything happens is filled with people struggling with poverty, addiction, and neglect. Society has largely abandoned them, labeling them as dangerous or disposable. That neglect may have created the perfect environment for the entity to spread. Bryce represents the kind of authority figure who sees the people in that neighborhood as less valuable. His panic when shooting the man partly comes from that bias, but by the end of the story, Bryce experiences the same pain and loss he once ignored in others. Jackson's story highlights another reality, how minorities within systems of power often feel forced to compromise their values to prove loyalty, and in the end, he pays the price for Bryce's mistake. The entity doesn't just attack randomly, it targets vulnerability, addiction, isolation, division. By exploiting these fractures in society, it slowly builds an army of followers who lure more victims into the same trap, and the final shot suggests something even more disturbing. The entity moves towards the camera, towards us, as if the next victims might not be inside the movie, but watching it. If you enjoyed this breakdown of Bodycam, make sure you subscribe for more horror movie explanations, hidden meanings, and deep dives into terrifying endings. And tell me in the comments, do you think him was an alien, a demon, or something even worse?
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.